Hello and welcome to part 9 of Project Data Analytics. In this part, we will see how we can control projects using data analytics. We will analyze the reports, we will perform forensic earned value analysis, we will do descriptive trend analysis, predictive trend analysis, and then we will prescribe for the project what needs to be done. We will be doing all these things using data analytics, and we will be performing this exercise on a high-res building. After that, we will, in the same part, we will be going into the flow of data, how data is flowing from our model which we have prepared so far, how filter context is actually working in DAX, and why DAX is so powerful to perform this data analytics, and how DAX is actually helping us to understand the data. So all the things will be done in this part, and we will be going into now the Power BI to start our exercise. So here I'm in Power BI. So this is a dashboard we have seen in part 7, that how we have developed this dashboard. It was a 3 hours video where we learned that how dashboard can be developed. Then in part number 8, we also did the drawings, that how we can connect the drawings with the performance measurement system and how it can basically help us. Today we will go in details to unlock the hidden information. We will see how we can use data analytics in project controls, in project management, in resource management, and how the performance of project can be assessed strongly using the data analytics. So I will just go briefly into this dashboard. This is our main dashboard. We have two type of performances going on. One is cost wise, the other is man hour wise, labor wise. And we know that performance, by mean of performance, we are talking about earned value management. All these concepts are already learned in previous parts. Okay, so budgeted total cost, we know that this is the budget of the project, plan, earn, actual. It's a subjective thing where from the actual is coming. There are two options. If you are putting actual cost in P6, so it is coming directly from P6. If you are not putting, then your ERP system, for example Oracle or SAP, Dynamics or Candy, whatever you are using, it can be connected here. So in this case, I'm bringing that directly from P6. So then we have we have all the parameters that are necessary to bring here. Okay, so we need to see also, we cannot bring every information in the same page. So this is a problem sometimes, because there is a lot of information in the project data. There are so many combinations we need to look after, we need to see. We will be seeing all these things in this exercise. So but everything cannot be here. So we need to see how we can basically move from one point to other point. There is a process of analyzing the data in order to control the cost and schedule. So we will be looking into this today. So let's see. First we need to analyze what is happening in our project. If I see my data date, which we know that this is our data date, we can take that to back. Right now it is at the end of the project, which is not correct. We should know what is our data date. So I know my data date is 24th of February 2019. So I will take, yeah, this is my data date, because this date is coming from P6. Update is happening in P6, so it should be here like that. So at this point, now we need to analyze our project, that what has happened so far, and then we will move forward. So if I see my earned value is 327 million and I have spent more. How much? We have spent 1.7 million more, which is cost variance hour. And the schedule variance is 36. It appears to be very much, you can say, unrealistic, but definitely there has been something going on, or there was something going on. That's why this value is totally different. We need to find out, we need to figure that out. So it is saying us our SPI of cost. Why this cost? We know that because we have taken previous classes. C means cost, L means labor. So for cost, my performance is 0.9, means schedule performance index. My cost performance index is 0.995. Estimate to complete, this is my remaining budget in my hand. We know that it can be remaining scope in your hand, it can be remaining budget in your hand, whatever formula you have used in the DAX, and we know that what we have used. Estimate at completion. So if I see my budget right now, it's 493 and estimated completion is 495. Variance is coming 2.67 million. Okay, so that means when the project will be ending with the same scenario, same condition, same situation that has happened previously, I will be ending with that budget, which is not good. I'm overrunning the cost. So whatever the time is remaining, whatever the scope is remaining in that part, I need to do with this to complete performance index in order to do not overrun with my budgeted total cost. So at this point, now we need to investigate in details that what we need to do, how we need to do. So first we need to look into little bit of information. For example, this is the baseline start of the project, baseline finish of the project. This is start. if the work has started, so this your start becomes actual start. Okay, and this, if something has finished, it will be your actual finish, otherwise it will be your forecast finish. So if I see my delays right now, it is 39 days of delay. We don't know whether it's a finished delay, because if you see in P6, if activity is finished, P6 will not show you the delay of that activity as a total float. But in our case, we know that how we have developed that, so it can be either the delay of finished activity which has finished after 39 days of the baseline finish, or either it is in progress or not started activity which might finish after 39 days. So we will be looking all these information. If I talk about my time elapsed, my project duration is 950 days. My time elapsed as per my data date is 638 days. If I change my data date, my time elapsed will be changed because I have now moved back in the time, and my time remaining also increased. So this is our dynamic data date. So let's say I will go back into my data date. Yes, so that's my time elapsed, time remaining. So nearly you can say 11 months remaining in the project, 10, and the scope remain and the amount remaining is here, estimate to complete 166. We need to cover this 2.67 million, and we need to see how. Schedule variance wise, we are a lot behind, which is appearing here as well. We can see we need to bring one thing. I will just go here and turn on my legends. If I turn on legends, see planned value. So planned value is the green one, which is the most, and then we have earned value and actual. Our planned value is more, and we are behind in the form of schedule, we are behind in the form of cost. So how we need to see? First, we need to see more values down here. This is my target value for the labor, and this is I have achieved, so that means I am behind. If I see my SPI of labor is 0.94, CPI of labor is good because we have spent 4.95 million man hours and we have earned 5.03, so it is a good sign for us. Estimate at completion is under control, there is no problem, and our TCPI is also under control, there is no problem. The positive variance is coming at the end of the project. So man hours wise, there is no issue, but if we talk about cost, there is some problem, so we need to find. This is also a representation of plan versus earn versus actual, it is showing us. So how to go from here means, first of all, we also need to see control accounts are here, floor levels, you can put anything you want, your zone, area, floors, or BOQ, whatever you have. In my case, I have put this. So there is a status, you can put, let's say if I want to see the completed activities, first I will see completed. Now the data is not transformed for the completed activities. The budget for completed activities is 319, which is also planned value because it's almost the same. A little bit, maybe if I need to change it 1 or 2 decimal places, it will be same. If I see actual, actually we have cost overrun 1.84. That means these items are now finished and their consequences will be on the not started activity and in progress activity. We need to cover this 1.84 from somewhere in these activities. So that was just an information. So we can test here, from here we can check if you want to filter out any of particular. So let's say if I want to see any particular floor, if I go into the floor, let's say I will filter floor number 6. We can check what happened in floor number 6. We can check the trends. Now you see it might be appearing little weird that what type of curves are these. Actually we have used a formula where we know that if something is not planned or if something is not done in particular time period, it will be blank. So if I see this green one is planned, so planned is going smooth, no issue with that. But if I see this yellow means orange one or the this earned value which is behind this, so what is happening, actually nothing has been basically done from this point to this point. Similarly, if I see nothing has been done from this point to this point, so we can see that in further into details what are the reasons, because in floor number 6 there will be many control accounts working on, there will be many activities going on, so we cannot judge by this that what is the reason. We need to go into the details. So by floor, it's just showing you that if you want to see floor by floor your values, so they can be changed here. Okay, so now if I see, let's say my control account So one of my, there are many, so you can put any, they can be your CIS codes which are coming from your ERP. These are your activity codes, these are your cost accounts if you are putting them in P6. So these are the points where we are taking decisions. So let's say if I see the CoreVol, what is the situation there? I can just filter that data for CoreVol, and now it is showing that CoreVol is going in that way, the plan value was going on, then we can see cost overrun happened a little bit, and CPI was less. SPI is means 1, because that means CoreVol is either finished as per this date, yeah, planned was this, earned is also this, so they are same, budget is also this, so that means it is 100% completed. 14 means it is finished 14 days later than the baseline. And how we can see that? If we see the baseline finish is 27 December 18, and this finish, which is now our actual finish, is 10th of January, so it is showing us the 14 days of delay. Okay, so if I see the total duration is 421 for the this filter which we have done. We will go into in the details that what is the filter context, because filter context is very important part of our training, which will help you to understand so many things. So CoreVol is saying that I was supposed to be finished in 421 days, but actually it is showing here 478 days. That's why minus 50 days is showing remaining, because if you subtract these two, you will get 57 days. But I will come into this part in a moment. So what is this minus 14 days? Minus 14 is very obvious. Baseline finish for the CoreVol was 27 December, but actually finished happened on 10th. So it is obvious that it is minus 14 days. If you see here, you will find only one status completed. That means there is no in progress or not started available for this. So it is completed. So what is this? We know that the time elapsed, we have developed a very dynamic, because we are changing our data date. I am standing on 22nd February here, you can say 24th February, 2 days I have added I think here. So 24th February is my data date. So that's why what is happening, this baseline, this CoreVol was finished 57 days before. See, if I go back, it is finished on 57 days before, which is this date. So that's why it is showing. If I go back in the time, let's say a little bit of back, so now it will be coming accurately, because the planned date for CoreVol was something else. So remember one thing, whenever you see negative value here, so that means that activity is finished that many days already. And then it comes whether it finished earlier or later than baseline. We can see from here, this is telling us it might be finishing that many days after the baseline finish, or it has already finished that many days after the baseline. If it is positive, it will be definitely finishing earlier than the baseline. If we filter something here and we see the data here, that means the actual dates, finish dates for this activity or this cost account is actually 36 days before the selection you have made here, which is my data date. So that's why you don't need to worry about that. So that was little bit of this dashboard. So now we need to go into the details. Let's say we want to further investigate and how we can proceed that. I want to check, I want to proceed from this point to onwards. So there is a way. What I need to do, I need to do a drill down filter. It's a very, very powerful, see, drill down. If I do drill down, it is giving so many options that how you want to see the information in your project. So first of all, I will go into the cost report. Let's see where is the cost. Here is the cost detailed cost report. So I will, or maybe we can go into the trend analysis. Let's say first we will go into trend analysis, and we will see whatever is happening here, how the trends are working. And we know that trends are made for the KPIs, because we are generating the KPIs, SPI, CPI, schedule variance, cost variance. So this is the trend analysis of what, of this information which is shown here in this page. So once we went into drill down, it showed us there that this information is represented in the form of trends there. So I will go into the trend. Same filter, whatever selection you have made here, it is representative here. Okay, now the same thing is happening here. Everything is filtered out. So we need to figure out what is going on. This is SPI cost, CPI cost. Okay, so we can see here light one is CPI, the darker one is SPI. Similarly, cost variance percent and schedule variance percent. This C means for cost, this L means for labor, this L. So here also we can open the legend, so it will show here. So how to see this? It appears to be very complicated, but we need to actually unlock the information out of it. So if I just zoom that in and we go into the detail, so if we just start looking at, this is our line, this is our limit, and how the limit is defined. Limit is defined for the 1. For example, if you are above 1, you are good. If you are below 1, you are bad. So whatever the value is here in the values, not in secondary value, in the values, it is now linked with the 1. If you, and what is right now, it is SPI. So if I am looking for the 1, SPI is represented with that. For example, if I see this point, this is good. If I talk about this point, although this point means this light blue, this point is above the red line, but that doesn't mean that it is really above 1 as well, because it is in the secondary axis. If I want to see this one, I will just bring that up and I will put that down. So now blue line is actually represented for the 1. So how it is, this is a way basically to read this drawing. We can see that in this each time period, if we just put our mouse here, it will show the index. Index means 23rd week of the project. That was your SPI, that was your CPI. You are going good. So how we can further drill down and see what are the values from here, who impacted that, what work was happening, that we can do that as well. So this is the trend going on, that sometimes you are ahead, sometimes you are below. So the point is that either you need to be on the 1 or you need to be above. So if I see in this area, majority of the time we were below, so that is actually a little problem for us, we need to see. So let's say if we want to see any particular point where we will find the lowest point, let's say this is the lowest point, 0.08 SPI. Actually I want to see, let's say, SPI of this. So if we right click and we go drill through, we have option of plan versus earned value cost. Okay, let's see what contributed in that particular time period. So I will go into this is now my drawing. It will show me in the form of drawings that these are the floors which were planned in that particular time period. If you see this 18 and 18, this is the week number. In this week, things were planned in this area, in this part, but nothing happened here. And what are the quantum of that? The quantum means quantity wise, if you say, so if you see 3.2 million planned and earned happened very slightly, that's why your SPI was very low. If I see SPI here, the schedule variance, you can say 0.6, it's negative, we are behind. SPI here 0.08. and if I see these are my baseline date, this baseline start date, baseline means actual start date, baseline finish and actual finish, and delay also shown here. So these are the breakdown of your BOQ which are basically happening here, means we need to look after for this thing as well. So if I go back down, this is the way you can proceed into your drawings, means in your other reports. So if I just go back into the trend, there are so many reports you can work for that. Yes, so this is the trend now showing us how things were moving up and down. So we can have a very good idea that most of the time our things were, means in the form of, if we see the our trend line, it is above. If in the starting part, it doesn't means it doesn't give any problem to us. But if we see in the after, for example, after a few months, it is showing us the problem. So that way we can have idea that the project was not going, means desirable, in a desirable way. It was going up, it was going down. There was a big, you can say not big, means 4%, up to 4%. Then there was a rises and lows going on in the project. So these are coming from the actual cost. And if you are bringing data from the ERP system, if your actual cost you are bringing from ERP, then data can be more accurate, because in P6 you cannot put data into the activity level. By means of data, I'm saying actual cost. So that's why sometimes P6 distribute them linearly, because you will be putting actual cost at certain point. It can be your WBS level, it can be your cost account level, control account, whatever you have developed. So but P6 will distribute linearly, so maybe that's why sometimes you are looking at upward and downward. But this is the way you can see that, okay, my ranges are going on from this point to this point, and this is the area where things are not good. This is the area where things were very good. I was suddenly ahead, and then we can further go into this part where it was planned, where it was not planned, not happened actually. Okay, similarly for labor, we have we can in fact drill that up little bit to make it little smoother. We can see like that how things are going on, our trends are going on. This is below trend is for labor, above is for cost. Schedule variance also, if we just make this little drill up, so it will be little nicer, and it can also show us what is going on. Cost variance is now here. It is telling us that cost was better in this part of the project, then here cost went down and a lot of cost went down. And if you just see by the area, this whole area, this part dark green and this part is more than this and this part. So that's why it also shows that cost is definitely had a problem there, especially during this point. For example, let's say decline started from here, not here, because decline here overall I was positive, but decline started from here. So week index number 102, from there until what, until this point my decline means index number, I think I need to make a filter again. Okay, so if we see index, we need to just drill down one more, and then we can see from this part, see that particular part is now further broken down. So we can just hover there and it is showing us the week number. So that shows us, if we just zoom in, this part has so many problems that continuously cost was below, in negative, cost variance was in negative. So that means cost overrun happened in that area. So we need to look into that particular area. So what happened? This is the highest value which is coming on here, minus, although we don't know the impact, how much in magnitude it is. If you want to drill through, so we can see what are the available drawings or what are the available values. Let's say I want to see and go into earned value cost management report. I will go into this part and see the magnitude of this. I want to see how much earned value happened against this part. So earned value happened 8.2 against this part. So that is a big amount basically. So we need to see how much actually happened for that. So let's say if I go into the same trend, in that, and if I go for analyze the report, and if I go for cost variance drawing, we will see in the form of drawing that where in this part it actually caused the problem. Okay, these are the area where things happened bad. If you see cost variance, this is the cost variance which is bringing us here. This is the amount of cost variance. For example, minus 481 of the budget of cost is coming in that particular week. See week number 48, which was the highest, it is selected now, and it is now telling us quantity wise that how much actually problem came and in which floors the problem came, and these are the activities that actually caused the problem. So this is also very good that you are getting idea now that how information can be unlocked with that. The more time we spend in this analysis, the better we will be getting, the better we will understand the filter context, how data is coming. So that is actually the descriptive analysis. It is telling us the past of my project, how things were going on in the form of labor or in the form of my cost, both the performances. We can further go into the detailed cost level. Let's say I will go into the detail. Now I want to see, I have a very good idea that from week number, let's say from here, week number 31 to week number approx 57, things were very bad in the form of cost. So let's see, now we need to see the control account. Also one thing more, if you want to see the trend of your control account, let's say I want to see the trend of my any control account, I will just go into electrical lights. Let's say I want to see if things happened in this, how things happened. The things happened in particular way is that the budget was this, planned is 100% because we have selected 100% plan. We need to recall one thing, whenever we are using the schedule variance or SPI, or we are going to see the planned value, we need to make sure the data date. Right now data date is not this, it's not correct. So I need to go back to week number 92, if I remember. Yeah, it was 92 approx. So week number 92 is my data date. It will not change the data. Maybe planned value is same, maybe planned value is less, then we will see. Yeah, the planned value as per the data date is this, earned value is this, actual is this. So actually we are doing a cost overrun and we are behind the schedule as well. The trend shows like this SPI and CPI, that we are basically in behind. also, because we cannot actually judge by this, but we can see the trend that okay, 1 week we were going good, then we were bad, then we went up, then we were bad. So we can directly go into the cost report and we can say that what happened in this week, why happened in this week. So it will be good for us. So it is showing us that this control account estimate at completion is going to be overrun, means it will be finishing more than the budget, and we need to control that. TCPI is this. Delay is showing that minus 39 days of delay. We don't know right now, is it a finished delay or it is a forecast delay. For that, what we will do, let's say I will go into and I will click on completed. So then it can show me that it will tell me that whether, yeah, completed activities, whatever the completed activities are, these are the planned values same as the completed. See, budget for the completed activity, budget was this, planned is this because they are completed, earned is also this because they are completed, but you spend more cost on in order to finish that scope of work. So that's why your CPI is less, your SPI definitely is same. So but these activities finished 16 days later than the plan. So what about the in progress or not started? We can check that as well. So these are the forecast delay now. It is saying that the activities that are in progress or not started, their scope of work is equal to 8.9, but we have planned so far 1.94 because so many things are not planned yet. So 1.9 is planned, we have done very little amount of work and we have spent almost the same. So in terms of cost, we are good. But these activities, we can see here the earned is so less, but the planned is so high. So it is going to be finishing 39 days after the baseline finished. So it is expected delay showing into that particular area. So that's how we can perform analytics in all the parts. You can set your criteria that how you want to monitor, which way you want to monitor. I'm just doing this forensic, you can say earned value analysis for you to investigate the things that happen in the project. Okay, if I want to go from here in other, I want to go into the detailed cost now. We are not looking in detail for the labor because definitely it will take a lot of time again, but the same philosophy is for labor. You can see the labor wise performance as well. Okay, so here if I see, I can, this is my data date, fine, and as per my data date I am behind the schedule, I am overrunning in the cost. This is the amount, these are the like magnitudes. So if we see here, this schedule variance and cost variance is against my structure. You can say, you can put here any particular value, you can put your floors, you can put your, like I have put structure. If I want floors, just drag the floor above like this. Just a second. Yeah, I will drag my floor above, so the situation will change here for the floors. Okay, you see the situation has been changed for the floor. If I want to put my structure here, I can just bring my structure back here. Okay, I can drill down into the columns also. If I go into column and if I do like this, so it will open up the columns for me. I think I have, yeah, I have selected here. I will put here in this part little bit, yes, back little bit like this. Okay, so now you will see data will be changing here. So what are these values? The color you can choose, this will be your choice, how much variance you can accept, how much you can bear, means percentage wise 2%, 3% you can highlight. So now it is showing that these are my heads and I am getting the information that each head, when it happened, means when it finished, how means not finished, when it is actually it was ahead, when it was behind. So colors are showing you as well. What is this? This is basically schedule variance and the cost variance against each item. For example, if I see race floor, my schedule variance was also behind in the month of December and my cost basically is 0, or maybe it is in the third decimal place, so that's why it is red, because I have put the formula inside. Okay, if I see the fire alarm, I am behind 3.19% in the month of December and 0.28 in the form of cost, I was ahead. Now I can then go into and figure out, okay, what happened in this particular area that I was behind. I need to see that as well. I don't know which floor it happened, I just know the month it happened. So let's say I want to see how it happened and where it happened. I will go and drill down. It is giving me all the options. I am looking at schedule variance. So whenever you are looking at schedule variance, you are comparing plan and earn. I want to see in my drawing, so I will click here. It will take me that 3.19 was the cause of all these information which you are looking at right now, that in this time period, in this floor, the value was planned for the fire alarm work. See, electrical work, engineering works were also there, electrical works, whatever. If you just drill down, it will show you the work, what actually works. See, all these work was planned. So these work were planned in this area, in this floor, but you did only in this part. So that's why this is the planned value, this is the earned value you are behind. This is the schedule variance which is coming here. So this is also showing the delay of that. We want to see whether the delay is finished or not finished. What we can do, same thing again, I will just click here for the completed. If it is something else, it will show the finished activities, finished 24 days delay. How we can see that? If we just go baseline finish is this and the actual finish is this. So that's why it is showing a 24 days delay. If I go into in progress and not started, the delay will be definitely this, because it is telling me that baseline finish is 15th May, but you are going to finish as per the current situation on 23rd June. So this is also very good in meetings. If you are sitting, that you can directly tell people what is going to happen, where it's going to happen. So it's a very nice thing to monitor the project and write the minutes of meeting, that what needs to be done, which floor we need to focus. Right now it is telling me that in the floor number, if I see floor number 11, 10, 9, 8, I need to look into these floors. Something things were planned but we didn't do in the fire alarm works. So this is also one of the way to just go into and visualize the things. I will go back into the detailed cost report and I will see a few things here also. So month by month we are also having an idea that, okay, if we see schedule variance, below is the item, below is the you can say the final result in this month, how much it happened. If you want to see the final result of that particular item or that particular cost account, control account, I can go into the end and I will see, okay, rainwater minus 19% behind the schedule at my data date. So that means so much work was planned but we didn't do. So now we need to look at that as well. So we can simply do this, rightly go into that. We have so many options here. Now I want to see, I can go into the cost summary as well to go into further details. I can check, let's say, what cost summary will offer us. Now cost summary is saying these are the two main heads under which are coming BOQ breakdowns, and this is their budget, planned value, earned value, actual cost. These are the percentages, schedule variance. See, the overall schedule variance is coming here, and estimate to complete. It is telling that estimated completion for this is also going to be more. Variance is like this. So all the information you just by looking at your report you are getting very easily. So we can just further drill down into the areas and find out the root causes. So similarly like this, if we go into, let's say now I will go into the detailed cost report. I want to remove all these filter and I will go into the summary cost report. Similarly detailed labor report, we have the same criteria. If you want to monitor through labor, the same things are happening here. You can check which month, which cost head, which floor basically gave you good value for schedule variance and the cost variance. So it is all the values are placed here. Although I have just placed here, you can modify as per your need, how you want. But I know information is required here as much as we can put, so that we can, whenever we see one information, we need so many other things to verify that. So we can just look here and there and find, okay, it is verifying. So that's why I put all the parameters of earned value here in order to find. Also, this is our delay. It is showing delay in the form of floors, that each floor how much is, whether it is delayed already in some activities or it is going to be delayed. If I click, for example, in completed, so you will see the values will be changing here. Sometimes it takes little time. Yeah, see, completed activities of this floor, if I just hover there my mouse, it is showing a highlighted part 37 and actual delay was 23. Means highlighted 37 days, whatever has finished, it has finished 37 days after the baseline days. Means we don't know what activities are finished here. There can be many activities in one floor. Let's say if there are 500 activities, we don't know how many activities finished. Let's say 200 finished. All these finished from their baseline 37 days ahead, and whatever is remaining as per your progress, it might be finishing 23 days later. So you need to check this. Now you can tell your teams that your floor number 10 is 23 days behind, so you need to focus there. What are the activities there you can put into floor number 10 floor wise column and means metrics, and we can see these are the activities remaining. Now I will go into the cost summary report, and from here also we will see how we can just filter things. If we see here, we can just remove the filter, whatever filter is applied here. So far there is no more. Yeah, rainwater was there, so I will just remove rainwater. Yes, so now it is giving me the typical earned value management complete matrices in the form of like budget, plan, earned, actual, their percentages, schedule variance, their percentages, estimate to complete, and all these things. So how we can do that as well? First, we need to see that if we are going to control the cost, we need to see how much actually we are behind and how much actually we are going to end. If I see the estimate at completion, it is telling me 100.49. That means 0.49% more I am going to finish. And if I see this is 495 million, the budget was 493 million. So that means my variance in the end will be minus 2.4 million. So this is the, you can say, summary right now. If I further go here, the variance is definitely the same, 0.49. My SPI is this, I am behind. My CPI is also behind, I need to control. So my TCPI, we need to see again each point wise how much my TCPI is coming. Here it is might be showing for 2 decimal digit, maybe you are not, that's why it is not showing. If it is 3 digits, so it will tell us that you need to control like 2% in the remaining part. Okay, so the thing is that these are my control accounts. So what I will do, I will first of all see which are the heads that are going to give me the most overrun. So I will filter them like denominator means smallest to largest. This is largest to smallest, so I will go smallest to largest like that. So minus 2.5 is going to happen in the concrete. Okay, then the next thing we need to see is to estimate to complete how much is remaining. If I go and see estimate to complete it 0.1 million, that means the point where we are doing this analysis is wrong. We should have done this exercise way before, when the variance was not that much high and the estimate was more. Or the variance, if the variance is minus 2.5 million, the estimate to complete should also be something in order to control. That means poor management, you can say, or there can be many reasons. You need to ask, this is the point we can ask, why it happened that variance is going to overrun by 2.4 million. Okay, let's say if I talk about this head, 5.6% we are losing money in this head, and if you see the remaining, it's only 0.1 million. Why? So this is the question. So that means we cannot control something in this. So the things that happen in this area, the bad things that happen in this area now needs to be controlled in the other areas where the remaining scope of work is at least where we can see, okay, we can control. So let's see, we will see the most remaining scope of work now. So most remaining scope of work is electrical, where 33 million is remaining, then cladding works, and all these things are going on. So that means whatever happened past, it happened. We need to control in these areas now in order to save the cost. Okay, so if I see the variance in electrical, I'm going to lose this amount, let's say 0.57% of the amount. So I need to look into this area and I need to control. So let's say I want to see further how we can do that, what we need to do. So what we can do from here actually is we can further drill down and we can go into that part. We will see drill down here showing us all these options. So where we can go, you need to, because you don't know right now how these things are coming. In fact, you need to practice that and you will understand once you will make that how these values are coming. We have done this in part number 8 and we have put them all here to in our drill through option. So that's why it is giving us the option. The point is that if I have made plan versus earned for cost drawing, you may have not made for it, you may have made in a separate way. So you need to understand your reports and dashboard, what information you are displaying there. It's kind of art. You need to know. You have data is converted into information. You need to display data in a form that it is easy to understand. It is fulfilling the purpose. So we need to understand what type of analysis we can do from here. If I see what I'm looking, I want to know about the electrical, that the remaining scope is this, and I want to know in future or what are the activities that are happening and what I can do further into that. Let's say we will go there. We can go into the main dashboard, we can go into the detailed report, we can go into this part, and we can also see so many things. Let's say TCPI drawing, I want to see that, okay, what I need to do into this part. Nothing is coming here because TCPI is, why it is showing that floor number 13 is basically, okay, floor number 13 was highlighted before. Sorry, I need to just remove few filters. It was coming previously. I will just remove that as well. Yep, seems better. Okay, so I will do this again. I will go into the summary cost report and we will see what we want. We wanted to go into the electrical part, and I will go just to see the electrical part, drill through into the TCPI drawings. Drawing means drawing, and TCPI we want to see what is there. So now it has filtered for us the electrical part. Now it is showing us that wherever it is red, we need to control the cost. Cost is overran in these parts, means cost variance is more, means in negative in this part. Where it is green, it is positive. See, okay, so let's say if I click on this part, red part, we will see what information comes here. My cost variance is negative. I have spent this amount of actual cost and this amount of earned cost. If I just, let's say, click on the green part, my cost variance is positive. Although schedule variance is negative, it doesn't matter because we are looking for the cost control at this point. My schedule cost variance is positive and I am under control. So that means all these parts we need to control. These red highlighted parts we need to control. So I can put some, you can say a note here that these are the floor where I need to look after that cost is gone more. So what are the activities there? We can see the activities here as well. We can put the floors here as well. Okay, in each floor what activity, see the floors are already here. We can zoom that. And here we are having the same report in details, the basement, the floor wise, all the data is there. And let's say if I want to see the activities, yeah, I can further drill down in each floor and see what activities are there where I need to control the cost. These are the activities: initial testing cable, marking and fixing, cable wiring. So it is obvious that cost is overrun in this part a lot. So I need to basically now control in these areas. We can further make here the estimate to complete. If I just drill down above, yes, and I can one more in electrical. Okay, I think one down. In this is the estimate to complete. I want to see that what is the most estimate to complete. Yes, this is the way estimate to complete is coming, and majority of the part we are positive as well. But where we are not positive in basement 5, see there is a problem in basement 5. Now these are the activities where things needs to be addressed. That's the thing which we actually need to control. If we go further into, let's say, any particular other part, basement 3 is positive. I will just drill up. Yes, and if I see in this estimate to complete, and negative value is this floor 3, and if I want to see the floor 3, where is the problem? So these are the activities where we can control. If I see, yeah, these are the activities in floor 3 where we can control, because estimate to complete is this. So that's the point where, that's the, you can say, procedure. You can go into detail, you can note that, you can write the minutes, you can find that what needs to be done, you can write a complete report that where the problem is coming, schedule variance wise, SPI, CPI, and you can recommend the TCPI that where needs to be controlled. Because if I just go back into this report, this TCPI is actually telling in electrical head, because we have filtered the electrical value, the budget is this, the plant is this, earned is this is my actual cost, and I'm going to overrun by this amount. Every information is here. I need to focus in these floors something is going on in this part we need to control. Then we will see, okay, if it is cable, what is the reason. Then definitely further meetings can be done, investigation can be done that cables are giving us the cost overrun. Then we can see basically if we need negotiation of the subcontract or supplier, or we need to do something, or we need to see the manpower as well. If the manpower is going on, because your cost is coming directly, your cost may be included in here as a for manpower, your cost may be included in here. If it is not, then definitely for manpower you are monitoring a separate cost. But in our case, let's say it is included, so then you can go and see, are the man hours overrun. Same report can be generated for man hours, and you will be looking for the man hours as well. So it's all up to you how you can basically analyze. So this is the way how this data analytics actually helping us. It is telling us at each point how data is filtered, means how data is behaving. You can check your KPIs in optimum way, and you can analyze them, and you can go to the root cause. So if you are working in your project and if you have applied such system, you will take little time to understand things, then definitely it's a routine work for you, and you will be pinpoint that where you need to go from which. Because if I open anything, let's say if I open this, there are several options available to me to drill down. But if you are looking for cost, you will see, okay, I need to go in detail cost or into the TCPI, where you want. So that's how things will be going on. So I think that was enough to show you that how you will be going into the root cause, how you will be finding that where the problem is, which areas, which control account needs to be monitored. Once you find out the root cause here, then you can basically take the corrective actions. Not necessarily corrective actions will be inside this tool. Maybe you need to have meetings separately with the suppliers or the management, that what needs to be done, maybe revise, or let's say budget or the man hours rate or whatever. So but it will give you the information out of the data that what needs to be done. So now we will go into the data flow, that how data is actually flowing in our data model. If you see the data model here, this is our model we have prepared so far. So how data is connected, we know that how data is basically moving from these channels once we filter the data. So this is really important for you to basically modify things in your project for future. So let's start with that. So let's see how data is flowing in our model. So what happens actually when we change the date, let's say I have changed this date, so data is changing here. What is happening in backend, I will go into that now. This is the external filter. Okay, there are two types of filters in our data model. In fact, in Power BI, external filters, which are called explicit filter, and internal filter, implicit filters. So these are the external filters. I have selected this one, and let's say I will select from here CCTV. Okay, so what is now happening in the DAX? In behind that, DAX is going, we need to see where from the data is coming. We know that this is our fact table because it is our date. This is also coming from fact table because we have put the activity code which is coming from the fact table. So these fact tables are giving instruction to our data model that we have been filtered by the user, so you need to change your attributes. These are the attributes, these are the dimensions. So the dimensions, the attributes are changing based on these fact filters. So if I go back into the data to show you what happened actually here, what DAX did, I selected the CCTV. DAX went this from engine. DAX went into this. DAX told this table that the user has selected the, let's say, BOQ breakdown here. If I select, it went here and it's went into this, and it says that the user has selected the CCTV. If it is appearing here, okay, I think CCTV not in here. CCTV is in my structures. Yes. If I go in this part, structure, fact table, and if I go into the structure here, yes, so if I see here, CCTV should come here. Yeah, here is the CCTV. So this is what it did. It unselected all, it selected the CCTV. Once the CCTV is selected, what happened? These are now filtered row. It told my activity ID, which is a primary key here, that the user has filtered me for how many, let's say 142 rows are filtered. So the primary key is filtered for 142 rows. This is the one filter applied. The second filter, which we also use there as a timeline, which I have filtered for any date. Let me check that. This is October 24, 2018. So what happened here it was filtered for all unfiltered, and from this part until October 28, somewhere here October will come inside. Yeah, October 24 I think, or 26, whatever. It was filtered here. These are not filtered. So what happened, it filtered these part, and then these two fact table, this is the fact table, it was filtered. The other one was fact table. We filtered the activity code, but it asked, or it commanded, it gave the command to activity ID that I am filtered for rows number 142 rows, you need to be filtered. So activity ID is filtered. So now we need to go into the model and see how they are connected. See, this is the fact table. It was filtered for 142 rows. This is also my fact table. It was filtered from day number 1 until 24th October. So these two are filtered. Then these two fact tables asked our other dimension tables to change your attributes because we are filtered. How? This date is connected through one to many with this date. This date is connected through one to many with this date. Similarly, this activity ID here is connected with many activity IDs of all the others with one to many. So what happened, when 142 rows are filtered, 142 activities are filtered, they gave command to the other table that I am filtered for condition, let's say XYZ. Now you need to be filtered for the condition XYZ. Once it is filtered for XYZ, it gave command to its other part, for example its distribution unit or its plant value distribution unit, its actual percent, that main user or the primary key in the fact table is filtered for 142, and it gave me command to filter for 142. Now your attributes should be filtered for 142 rows. Then whatever the value is coming from them, it came. Similarly with the dates, the date is selected until 24th October. It gave command to this. Now this date is connected through this date. So this date is filtered as well for the same apple to apple. Whatever filtered here, it gave command to this to filter yourself. Once it filtered the dates as well. It filtered the other part as well. So that's why once you are changing the date, the data is changing. So this is how the filter is working between these models. So the data of the flow of data basically go from either date or either the activity codes, but the activity ID basically. If you are filtering anything from here, it is asking the activity ID to be filtered. Once it is filtered, it wherever it is connected, let's say all are the branches scattered, so it is giving command to every connected part that now filter yourself. Similarly, this part, once you change the date, so it is filtered here, it is giving command to every other part, other branches where it is connected, that you need to filter yourself. Similarly, if we see the resource IDs, this is my resource assignment, how it is connected. This resource assignment is connected through activity ID with this filter, with this table, and it is also connected through the dates. So whenever you change the date, so the resource assignment is also changing. Whenever you change the activity ID, the resource assignment is also changing the ID. So that's how it is working. So let's try and see other examples. If we can see, for example, if I go into the detailed cost, so here if we see, if you want to do any filters, what happens if I'm filtering the floor. Now you will have idea that if I'm filtering floor, so it is going in there in the column, and it is asking that filter the floor number 13. So whatever the number of rows are filtered, they are going, and let's say if I go into the model now, here I filtered the floor. If I go, this is my floor level. So in this floor I filtered the floor number 13. Once the floor number 13 is filtered, it also filtered the rows here, activity IDs. So activity IDs told the all other parts that I am filtered, now you need to filter, so they are filtered as well for activity, not this one, this column, this table, every table which is connected here and having the activity ID, which is basically the link between these two tables. So it is telling that, for example, this one, yeah, so it is telling that I'm filtered, you need to be filtered, so it is filtered. Once the main, this is foreign key, so the primary key is telling the foreign key to filter yourself. Once the foreign key is filtered, so whatever the attributes are there, dates, whatever is there, it is also filtered. Same thing is happening once you are changing the date here. If I'm putting it, let's say 142, so this 142 went where? it went into this date column and it filtered the week number 142 from 1 to 142. So it asked other primary key, this is the primary key, it asked other foreign keys that you need to filter yourself, So basically this is the flow happening. If you are clicking in some part, it is going in the other part and asking them to filter. Once they are filtered, if they are connected through relevant table, they are asking the other table to filter yourself. So that's how data is flowing in our model. So you need to take care of few things once you are doing that. Activity codes are present in the fact table, dates are also fact table, the distribution tables are dimension tables. So each primary key which is in fact table, like activity ID and the our date ID, they should be present as a foreign key as well, so they are connected in that way. So this is basically the filter context, that how filter is moving. Once you will be filtering the data, then you will be understanding by yourself, okay, how it is coming. So you need to validate the data as well with your projects. Once you will make this model and apply your project into this part in this model, so you will get better idea with that. So I think it is done with that. So much information is already covered, and so much you can say training is covered so far, and I think this is going to be very good for you. In the last part, we will be seeing that how we can convert this complete model into portfolio model from the project model. We have converted, this model is so flexible that it can attain the data of any project from the P6 from any industry, and we can convert the same data into the portfolio as well. So we will be discussing in the last part some do's and don'ts, and we will be seeing if some error comes for you. Maybe there are some errors, sometimes it happens with me as well, so how you need to rectify them, where you need to do, what are the checkpoints to check the error, because there are 2-3 checkpoints I have developed. Once you do this, then you do this, then you do this, then you will definitely go into the root cause of the error, that where is the error in your model or in your you can say Excel sheet which we have placed as a CSV file or anything. So this is basically we will be discussing in the last part, and we will also be discussing that how you can basically make the reports for portfolio and portfolio analysis of your project, how you can perform that. So I think that this part is finished, and I hope that you have learned a lot. I have tried to express all the things which I know from here, which we have developed so far. So I hope it will be a very good for you to practice that. So see you in the next part.